Hey, Angie Rae here with Girl That's Toxic. Well, I'm so excited. There's more of me and your girl Renee. We continue to uplift women by talking about relationship issues and talking about our own battles, our own health battles, as well as natural hair, alopecia, all that kind of stuff. So join us.
Tell people this is what I hate the most too, because when you start telling other women this, they automatically think, "Oh, you just hating." Uh,
Right. No, I'm
okay,
trying to help.
whatever.
I love you.
And that's why that's the problem with our community. It's like you can't ever take advice and let it be what it is instead of always trying to make it something that it isn't. And
Mhm.
I feel like just because somebody, it is good people out there that really want to help you and teach you some things. But first of all, I'm a lot older, so I feel like, yeah, I do have that space to tell somebody younger than me because I've already kind of been through
Right.
some things to tell you, "Hey, sis, sometimes when a man does that, he's not really into you."
That's right.
I kind of been there myself, so I'm just letting you know because that happened to me because it's by experience. It's
Mhm.
not that I'm out here hating on you because of whatever, but I'm telling you that sometimes it is what it
That's
is,
right.
and you have to take it. But it's up to you to wanna take that as what it is, because
That's
you could
right.
be stupid all day and decide to stay in something when you clearly see that it ain't even what it is, you know?
Exactly.
So I ain't got time,
Uh,
and one thing I'm not is worrying about somebody else in their relationship because half the time I don't even want to be in one myself. Okay. So
let's just be
I'm
real.
just saying,
Yeah,
I ain't got time.
that's right.
I just want to help people see that there is always things that you can work on. Nobody knows everything. Nobody's
That's
perfect.
right.
And you can't just jump into something and thinking that it's going to be good. I see women go in one relationship. Next thing you know, they jump out. Then they go right back into another thing. And like you said, Angie, they go back to the same thing they're used to.
Yep,
It's because it's how they were raised. So they're used to seeing that type of dynamic. So they automatically think that's the right thing to get
that's
into. But
right.
it's not. It's very just it's toxic. Like you
Look,
said, it's a
these are
toxic
these are
situation.
these intergenerational excuse me, these are these generational curses that we need to
Mhm,
break. And I remember, I never
mhm,
forget, I was, in Miami, girlfriend,
mhm.
on 95 North, and I was talking to my girlfriend who's also a news anchor.
Right.
And girl, we were talking about Halle Berry, and I forget which man, I think it was probably Eric Benet. And I said, "Look," I said, "Halle keeps dating the same type or marrying, she keeps getting involved with the same type of man." And then I called all of us
Mhm.
on it. And I said, "I know I got a pattern. I bet I know you got a pattern." She
I
loves
do, I do.
an athlete. Body gotta look a certain way. Me, I like you to be young. I don't like no old sagging skin. So we all have our little picadillos, things that we like. But
Yeah,
if those things are leading to harm,
right.
then you need to rethink
It's just
things.
not a good yeah, it's
Not a
not a good look, sis.
you know, speaking of not a good look, ooh, child, me and my hair, that's a whole nother
No, honey, now
story.
don't even go there.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
you even.
Oh yeah. Y'all, Imma tell you right now, struggle is real. I don't know if I still have the alopecia from the cancer. I don't know, but I
Mm,
just keep being positive. And let me say
that's
this,
right.
women, and I'm talking about black women because I care about our hair.
Mhm,
Make sure, because let me tell you what happened to me. I went from where I live down to Texas. And I said, I'm gonna wash my
mhm,
hair down there. I washed my hair down there and I was like, what's going on? What's going on is that the water was hard. And that is
ooh,
messing up a lot of our hair. There is a filter thing you can get to put on your
mhm,
shower. That is going to, you'd be surprised at what that will do. That hard
right.
water, girl, I think that hit me when I moved to DC in 2007. And I was like, wash my hair. I'm like,
Wow.
whoa, why is my hair different? It's water. There's other things. I
So
don't know if
let
your hair's natural, but go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, I do protective and I do wear wigs and stuff too, but I
Mhm,
have natural hair. I don't believe in putting
mhm.
perms and all that in my hair. But what I want to know is when you were having an issue with your hair, was it like making it like the texture? Was the texture different?
Yeah.
Was it like a lot thinner and
It was
brittle?
and it was and brittle, like, I'm putting stuff in that's moisturizing, and water is moisturizing, but then it was
Right.
feeling dry, and I'm like, "Mm-mm, something's not right." So, sure enough, I looked at a couple of videos and, somebody actually said, "Go to Amazon, this one's cheap." So,
Okay.
I had
Okay.
that done, and so it's better, but it's still a little weird. So, and I
Yeah.
know that our hair goes through changes, and the older we get, because of the alopecia, I am not coloring my hair. As a matter of fact, it was colored when she shouldn't have, because she knew about the
Mm,
cancer and she should have known, looked at it, but I never had like spots and stuff, but like my
right.
lashes will curve over this way. And, it's just the cancer that I had, it presents as gastro issues first. So my blood count was dipping, then I'm trying to take iron to, bring it back up. And this was happening for, let's say, 2, 3 years until we finally figured out what it
Mhm.
was. But,
Mhm.
our hair is glorious.
Yes, it
And,
is.
we've been taught all of our lives that our texture of hair is just blah. And
Mm.
girl, all of a sudden, we started going natural. And the people
Mhm.
whose hair was, let's say, 4C, 4B, whatever, their
Right.
curls were like amazing.
Amazing.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
we just, like you said, you don't do the relaxers. We got out of that.
Mm-mm.
And I do see
Yeah.
some people saying, I'm the natural thing isn't working for me. I'm going to go back to a
I
perm.
can't. I can't. I don't care. I'll wear a wig before I go back. Mm-mm.
I just, no.
Can't
And
go
let me
back.
say this, Renee, I hadn't I don't
Mm.
put heat on my hair. I let it air dry, whatever. You can look crazy like
Mm-mm.
my little girls back there.
Right.
But,
Right.
when I went to Houston, home, basically,
Right.
I went with my cousin sister, and I was like, "Okay, I know her hairstylist. I trust her. Gotta trust." And
Right.
I needed to get a cut because I said it hadn't been blown. I don't know what it's girl, my hair was, like, down here, and I let her cut
Ooh.
2 inches, and then me and my girl left, and I'm like, "Ooh, her hair smells like, uh, hair that's burning," but I didn't wanna say nothing. Girl, that wasn't her hair, that was my hair, and I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" So, I came home, I was like, "Peter, do you smell that?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Uh-uh." So then I called my cousin, she was like, "Let me give you her number instead of me having to relay." I'm like, "Okay." So what she said to me is, because my hair is natural, that it can
Right.
have that smell. I'm like, "Truly, really?"
I
Imma
never
tell
knew
you.
that. Honestly, I never knew. I got natural hair, so
Oh,
I never knew that. I never had that
do you
experience
blow it
per
out?
se.
Okay, do you
I really don't do all the heat, in my hair. I normally just let it stay as it is. And the reason why is because I already have issues with tumors myself. I've had a couple surgeries. Right now, my womb is really bad. So
Mm,
I don't really want to do I used to, and you know what, I think a lot of the reasons was that for was because of the perms that I got when I was younger. My mother used to allow that. And I think over the years it just kind of messed up with everything else. My hormones have been out of control. So I just like to keep it what God has provided. I don't really go do blowouts or anything. I just let my hair stay in its natural state.
I was listening.
Wash, condition,
Yeah,
I just try to do what I need to do to keep it
right,
healthy, but I don't believe in really doing all that. But I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with getting a blowout. You can get a
right,
blowout.
right.
It's not an issue. But normally I'll
But
just buy a blowout wig, put it on,
yeah,
you
because
know.
if you do start blowing, let's say I start blowing this out, then I'll lose my
Mhm.
curl pattern, and I don't want to. This is my daddy. It reminds me of my
Right. Right.
I was listening to a woman yesterday. Um,
Mhm.
she was given, I think, 10 things that we're doing wrong with our natural hair. And one of the
Mhm.
things she said, and it is something that I've always thought, she talked about protective styles and how
Right.
if you aren't doing it right, it can be harming your hair.
Mess your hair up.
So, like you said,
Yes,
you
it can.
still need to take it down. You still need to, wash your hair, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, this whole black hair thing and folks feeling like we don't look professional enough because my
Mhm.
hair isn't straight and in a straight page boy. You can see some other videos where it is
Mhm.
back in the day.
Yeah, child. Mm.
It's caused uh cities, states, whatever to have to introduce the Crown Act. Get the
Right,
hell out of my hair. This one
right.
poor young man, he's out of high school and playing sports and stuff, and they keep making him saying his hair is unacceptable. Girl,
Mhm.
I just can't.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many times when society wants to embrace Black culture. Music,
Yes,
the
they
way we
do.
dress, the way we
Mhm.
talk,
Yep.
etc. And then there's this whole I don't like people, Black people. I don't want anything to do with anything that has to do with, but we Black people, we are the culture. Whatever the
Yes, we are.
culture is now, we are the culture. We created it, and everybody else comes behind us. I was watching something the other
Yes.
day, and I was like, "What?" And my dude's like, "Hey, at this point, this is the norm," meaning hip hop dancing or whatever, and not seeing
Mhm.
faces like ours doing it. Okay,
Oh,
Renee,
yeah. Oh,
I have to say
yeah.
this,
Oh,
Renee. I keep
yeah.
looking at you. Y'all, she looks like Regina King, and I'm a big Regina
Oh,
King
Lord.
fan. And she got a cute commercial now with that pretty face and those eyes and her hair. I was like, it's like she went to Kool-Aid and she's got it. It's real red and it's
Oh
real
my
it's
god.
so cute. I keep looking at you going, Regina.
I'll take that compliment. She's a beautiful Black woman, by the
She
way.
is. She is. And
I love
talented.
Regina myself. I think she's so sweet and just so talented. I
Mm,
do. She's like one of
mm,
my favorites. One of my
mm.
favorites.
There's an episode that I did on Girl That's Toxic, and y'all should see it
Mhm.
because I took on Jennifer Aniston and Jennifer Garner, and Regina King was at a dinner party that Chelsea Handler was having, and Chelsea said, "Okay, let's
Uh-huh.
just start out by, saying who we are, where we're from, like." So when it got to our girl, Renee's lookalike, Regina said, she was from Los Angeles, and she said, "That's an anomaly." She's right. Oh my God, a Los Angeles, really? Jennifer Garner, yeah, is sitting across from her, and the look on her face, y'all need to go see that video. The look on this
I
woman's
gotta
face is
see it.
pure evil. She goes, "But no, no, no. Where are your people from?"
Really?
Oh, she went there, girlfriend. And Regina handled it very well. And I got some comments from people
Wow.
saying, "Well, it wasn't as bad as that because no, these are the microaggressions that we have to deal with on the regular. And then we have to find
Right.
a way to respond to it that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. I don't give
Mm.
a merry damn about your discomfort. What you said was inappropriate. You know the history. And if you don't, you
Mhm.
should, because your
Yeah.
ex-husband, Ben Affleck, okay,
Right.
he did his lineage, and then he didn't
Mm.
want it known that he had slave owners in his history. So I don't like her.
Child.
And that Aniston girl, bye, Felicia's, both of you. I don't need none of that. That
I wish I
Hollywood
coulda saw
stuff.
it. I did not get a chance to see it, but I wish I could have seen it.
No,
Oh
it's
my
there,
goodness.
Renee. The thing about me and you is our stuff is there in perpetuity. It's there, and
Mm.
it got some views. But
Wow. Wow.
Renee, as Black women, there are certain things that we potentially have to deal with. And I know that I have. I don't know if anyone else in my family has had to deal with it, but
Mhm.
it's specific health issues that are largely hitting African American women, which means, okay, medically,
Yeah.
okay, nobody's going to be doing the research to help us out. Nobody's going to
Right.
be looking for a resolution because it's
Yeah.
Black women. And what
Yeah.
I'm talking about fibroid tumors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Renee, I had a cyst on my ovary when I was in my 20s, and
Mhm.
the doctor took it out. And in that report, he said, "I also see a pea-sized tumor." And
Mhm.
from there, it grew.
Yeah.
So
I
by
know
the
what you
time
mean.
I had the first procedure, the biggest one they
Right.
took out was the size of a grapefruit, and they,
Yeah.
on and on. And
Right.
there's no one doing medical research on how does this happen? How can we help this group of folks? I understand Asian women may go through it, and I've seen I've talked to white women, other women who have gone through it, but this is largely focused on us. And
Right.
you know,
You're right. You're absolutely right because I'm dealing with that now, and I have a huge one here. I have a couple on there, but let me just tell you, when it comes to healthcare, period, nobody helps you the way that you should as being a black woman.
that's it.
I have lost 6 babies, probably. I got pregnant. I think the really I just lost twins, and that was a malpractice in the hospital. I can't really share a lot because I'm still got the lawyers handling that stuff. But when I was in the hospital, I was given something and I lost my twins that way. But I did have fibroids, although I had the big fibroids and I was pregnant with twins. They said that it was no concern with the pregnancy that I was going to be able, but it was horrible. I mean, from the pain, I can't even tell you, like, when Mother Nature comes, the type of pain. I have to literally take 6 huge ibuprofen to just get it to not be so painful. But I do know that when you go and you need someone to give you that care. Every time I was pregnant, it was a horrible experience. Nobody listened to me when I was telling them something was wrong, nobody cared. And then I lost, continuously losing babies like that, and knowing that you knew something was wrong and they didn't listen to you, that is a problem. Um, so now I actually have something set where if I am successful having a child by next year, I have my doctor already picked out. I chose the type of doctor I wanted to work with, the nurses that I want to be a part of whatever's going on. I got family and friends that are going to be, you know, helping me through certain things if something goes wrong. Because honestly, it was such a horrible experience. Um,
I'm
you know,
so sorry.
losing children like that, back to
That
back
is
to back.
that is
Yeah,
just unbelievable. And are you
yeah.
under the impression that the losses are due to the fibroid tumors being there?
Now the first ones, they told me that I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna put it all out there, but the guy that I am with, he does have sperm issues. So we knew that it was a possibility that if we were to actually get pregnant, which we did a few times, there was some things that at the beginning process, it was something I couldn't have helped anyway. It was just chromosomal issues because of this quality of the sperm. It wasn't anything wrong with me. At first, I thought it was until I went and get checked up and they said, "Oh no, you're fine." And at that point, I did have fibroids still, and I was still going through painful, painful periods, but it wasn't as bad as they are today where I have to get another procedure done. And I think I'm actually got that scheduled for next month, to get another procedure done for the fibroids. But the first myomectomy I had, it grew right back. It seemed like it grew back sooner than what I had expected
Okay,
because
so let me ask you
they
this.
told me,
How many years did they tell you it was gonna grow back?
well, he told me it's a possibility they could come back, but he made it seem like it wasn't going to be like
Like it was?
6 months later. It was like, a few years you might have to deal with this again. It hasn't been 2 years since that process that I had. So we're looking at 8 months in, and I got these huge things. So that's when they realized it's something that women need to talk to the doctors about too, just FYI, because I found out for me, hormonal imbalance, which means I got for some reason it's making these growths. They told me it was also could have been a mixture of anxiety as well. So they started putting me on this medication, but I'm really iffy about medication. I don't wanna be doped up on a lot of different things because it can change the body and how it works. And I just told him, I'm not gonna be doped up on these medications. You guys give me this and that for all these different things. I'd rather go natural. Give me something that you think can help me. Change my diet was one of the things that I could do, working out more. I started incorporating that because I didn't wanna take these things. By the time I was done, I had, like, 20 bottles of medication. What I need all this for? If you're saying it's just maybe possibly anxiety or just a hormonal issue, then why do I need all of this? It's one thing after the next. Then my blood pressure, it started to get really crazy, but I realized a lot of those things was just because I wasn't eating right and I wasn't
Mm,
working out.
okay.
And for us, how we grew up, we want the things that we're used to eating, and
Mm.
sometimes you just got to say no. I got to do my body better. I got to start eating more fruit, more vegetables, and I got to
Mhm,
start working out. I got to start caring about me.
mhm.
And I stopped being lazy and I got off my ass and I said, you know what? I'm gonna change what I'm doing because I care
Mhm.
about myself and I
Right.
wanna be better. Um, Even
That's
if it
awesome.
never happens with children, I still wanna make sure I'm healthy, you
Right.
know,
Right.
but I am making the call. Like I said, the call is next year, if things just don't work out, I just gotta do what I gotta do because I can't go through this pain.
No.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a horrible situation,
Yeah. And when I
you
had,
know?
my myomectomy, my doctor said to me, "Angela, you need to have children within the next 2 years." I am
Yeah,
not lying to you.
yeah.
A year to the date of my surgery, I got married. A year to the date.
Ugh.
And the marriage didn't work out. But let me tell you this, 2 years later, they came back. And at that point, now they're starting to present differently, and then there's another procedure, and then there's another procedure, and then I'm like,
Yeah, it's too much, too
too
much.
much. My
It's too
God, it's
much.
just too much."